Interesting comment on the channel today. If Scriabin lived to 60 or even 50, he'd be taken more seriously than Stravinsky. Scriabin was a composing child prodigy like a Chopin or a Mendelssohn, and his music goes way beyond anything Stravinsky composed, says the comment. It is certainly a tragedy that he never made 50. Scriabin died at the age of 43 in 1915, having just given a triumphant performance on the piano in St. Petersburg. He noticed, this is April 1915, he noticed that he had a pimple on his upper lip, which grew in what was described as fiery intensity. It sounds really horrible, and then went septic. And he died of sepsis in April 1915. Really terrible end to a great composer, to die of sepsis as a result of a spot on your lip. My goodness. So no question that that is a terrible thing. But I responded to the comment, maybe not entirely fairly, by saying Scriabin always seems to me to be someone whose career follows a very specific trajectory, right through to self-deification and then death. Now, of course, I'm being a little bit frivolous, but Scriabin had already proclaimed himself to be God in a somewhat grandiloquent philosophical article not long before his death. He also had on his desk an enormous unfinished work called Mysterium. And the idea behind that work was a week-long performance which he hoped would happen in the Himalayas, after which the world would come to an end and the transformation of the human race into nobler beings would occur. Now, this strikes me as decidedly unhinged. Scriabin was a theosophist and saw his music as some kind of mystical journey. I mean, that's evident. And the craziness of that project even outstrips the sorts of things that the German composer Karlheinz Stockhausen was doing at the end of the 20th century. But it's not dissimilar. It's just a little bit unhinged. It's a weird melting pot of mysticism and self-aggrandizing craziness. And my feeling is that kind of thing is never going to end well. Stravinsky, bless him, never had that kind of problem. Great egotist though he was, his feet were always firmly on the ground. But I have to say that even before Scriabin died, Stravinsky had written 3 works at least, which are easily as fine, possibly more important, historically, certainly more important than anything Scriabin wrote. So I would say the 3 great ballets, Firebird, Petrushka, and The Rite of Spring, are simply century-defining works.